Greetings. My name is Dr. Belinda Carge, and I have the honor of chairing the specialization in special education. And I wanted to take a minute and tell you a little bit about how the specialization evolved. In the doctoral program, our main goal is to equip transformative leaders with an in-depth knowledge and skills to guide dynamic and diverse learning organizations toward continuous improvement and sustained effectiveness. So, how do we do that in pre-K through 12 schools? What kinds of things can we do in organizations that support learners with special needs so that we can make a difference? As you're looking at making a decision whether you want to go admin or change or special ed, I want you to consider that success starts with leadership. And if you are going to have a strong school academically, socially, mentally, physically, if your teachers are going to understand how to love and care for students of every level, you really need to understand what the special ed services systems are all about. And beyond that, you need to understand what it means to be an inclusive educator. So in the specialization, there are three classes. Heavy engagement. You will have the opportunity to work with top level experts, superintendents, assistant superintendents, people who've lived these systems and have great stories to tell. And you can engage with them and ask them, hey, how did you do it? How did your school go from being a lower level school to a top level school? How did your school make a difference on test scores and data? What kind of data did you collect? What types of things happened? And in these three specialization classes, you'll have the opportunity to do that. The first class, leveraging inclusive practices and services for all students, we really mean all. We are talking about the low performers, the kids who fall between the cracks, the bilingual students, your multilingual students. We're talking about students with disabilities, students who are gifted, students who are quirky and they just don't fit in. All of those types of students, what kinds of systems do you provide? Do you have a true MTSS program, multi-system of support program at your school? And what does that look like? I love this quote by Dr. Eric Carter. He says, early segregation does not merely predict later segregation, it almost ensures it. Look, here's the thing. We don't have banks for kids with disabilities. We don't have grocery stores for students with disabilities. We are training in the public schools for our students to be out in society. We need to start at the very beginning and include everybody. And that's the beauty of this specialization is that we are focusing on those lower performers, the kids who are labeled with special needs. We are focusing on students who need extra support, but we're also looking at everybody and the whole school and how we can really move forward. You're going to be taking a class called Advanced Research in Special Ed, where you're going to understand the history and the legalities of special ed and the current issues, like what's happening right now. What I love about this class is you have the opportunity to learn how to keep yourself out of litigation, and you have the opportunity to learn how to be effective in leading an IEP meeting. You have the opportunity to learn why it is that people say that special education encroaches on the budget for general ed. Like you really get to talk about the fiscal implications of special education and really learn what that means for a school leader. And finally, the last class, Advanced Social Emotional Skills for Counselors and Special Educators, is an opportunity to really help focus school-wide, district-wide, organization-wide on mental health issues and really looking at school-wide positive behavior support, school-wide mental health support, school-wide social emotional skills. What kinds of things can we do to build the community so that students are comfortable and enjoy school and are learning? So as you can see, this specialization was designed for leaders like yourself. It was not designed for special ed teachers. The special ed content that you would learn in a special ed credential program is in another place in Concordia's system of offerings. This class is designed for leaders who really don't know a lot about leading in the special ed community, who don't know a lot about special ed, who need to learn the multi-tier system of support, the legal aspect, the social emotional, and how all of that can be brought together. So you'll be getting some tips and some guidance and some advice. You'll also have networks for help and assistance and support, and questions that you might have or that might arise will be answered as a part of this specialization. So I encourage you, if you have questions, to reach out to me. I've spent my career general ed, special ed, administrator, working in district office. I've also worked at many universities, including Cal State Fullerton, where I'm an emeriti. I was the department chair of special ed. So I have a lot of background, and I'd love to help you in any way I can if you wanted to talk about this specialization. So thank you. And I really appreciate the opportunity to share with you about our specialization. Many blessings on your education journey.